It's Christmas time and most people are focused on that stupid song, The 12 Days of Christmas. But this isn't the year 1457 where you couldn't even bench press or buy a whey protein shake. This is 2016, and in 2016 we do the 12 Slays of Christmas, e.g. the best 12 deaths in video games this year. Because this is the Miller Report. The 12th Slay of Christmas. This, obviously, goes to Gears of War. Just in case you forgot, in Gears of War, you can get a chainsaw and cut right through another man. Now that is so ridiculous, and that is so over the top, it makes me want to hunt down Rod Ferguson and give him a hug, and then give him the Nobel Peace Prize for death, which is definitely a thing. Let's watch it in action. And again. And one more time. I mean, that is just incredible. It's like art, but instead of just some weird angles that people stare at, because nerds, it's a window into what would happen if a mechanical piece of metal shattered through your skin. Now, obviously, this would be horrendous. Your bones would shatter, your body would melt, your eyes would explode like 1,000 suns. But that's why it's even better you're doing it in a game and not real life. This is why people that go, "Wah, it's too violent," are numbskulls. It's not real, dummy. It's a video game. Just like Tom Cruise isn't actually a super secret spy. You thought he was, didn't you? Good grief. The 11th Slay of Christmas. Dishonored 2 may be guilty of trying to enforce stealth on you, and as we all know, sneaking around in the shadows is mostly for cowards and mostly for wimps, but that doesn't mean from time to time it won't dish out a good old-fashioned kill. In fact, Dishonored 2 straight up lets you stab a man in the face. That's not like shooting someone or even whimsically throwing a grenade. Let's face it, if you're an idiot, you can pretend that neither of those actually kills anyone, just wounds them. Which is worse when you think about it. No one wants to live without an arm. How would they bicep curl? Anyway, the point is, if you take a sharp object and plunge it into someone's head, they're dead. There's no two ways about it, and that is also incredibly dark. We're all quick to talk about how wonderful and brave Corvo and Emily are, but shouldn't we be questioning their mental well-being? They do this throughout the game and yet seem utterly unfazed. That's not normal. That's a sign of a serial killer, and yet you go on celebrating them all the same. Now who's got the issue? Spoiler, it's you. You've got the issue. The 10th Slay of Christmas. You don't need to run anyone over in Watch Dogs 2. Seriously, you don't need to do it ever. There's no need. None. Zero. Nada. So if you do, you're disgusting and twisted and sick. With that said, should you want to take a death wagon and just plow into someone as you play Ubisoft sequel, you can. And because game physics are always a bit weird, you'll see them just get utterly munched as a result of it. Because you're a psychopath, it's not like you stop to check on them either. You just keep on driving without a care in the world for the cost to the NHS or that person's family. You're putting a stress on national health and having no regard for the emotional well-being of humans. Don't worry though, because you can still then go and pretend to hack somebody's phone. And that, of course, makes up for all of this. The 9th Slay of Christmas. Agent 47 does not give two shits. He will shoot you, stab you, choke you, strangle you, drown you, whatever it takes to commit rampant murder, the Hitman will do just that, and he doesn't show a lick of emotion throughout it, which is terrifying, but he's bald, so I let him off. Without doubt, the highest of all highs where these are concerned, however, is when Agent 47 makes a golf ball explode, instantly killing his intended target. That's a right bummer, isn't it? You're trying to enjoy your favorite pastime to unwind, and instead, you get blown to smithereens. This guy probably thought the definition of a bad day was gonna be him scoring 2 over par, not having his limbs scattered across the grass. Imagine that phone call as well. "Sorry, Mrs. Hitman Target, your husband is dead because he played golf." And that doesn't even make sense. Golf. The secret killer. The 8th Slay of Christmas. Mirror's Edge Catalyst utterly killed itself this year by choking itself out. And by that, I mean that nobody bought it, which is a crying shame because Mirror's Edge is good. I'm not gonna cry though, because it's a video game, and that would be weird. If you've ever cried at a video game, you've got a serious problem. I mean, what were you doing? Shedding tears because that Schmerl in Final Fantasy VII died? Or getting all choked up because some unimportant person may or may not get eaten by a zombie in The Walking Dead? What's next? Breaking down because you have to renew your gym membership? You shouldn't have let it expire in the first place. But come on! Perspective, Poindexter! All that aside, Mirror's Edge Catalyst was one of the better games this year, even though you didn't really kill anyone in it. That's even greater praise because most games where you can't kill people are literally designed for geeks, like The Witness. Oh, do this newspaper puzzle, but we're gonna make you pay a premium price. Go away, Blow. Go away. The 7th Slay of Christmas. Titanfall 2 slayed everything this year. It slayed Call of Duty Infinity Warfare. It slayed Homefront The Revolution. Although, that wasn't very hard, because Homefront The Revolution was about as fun as mud, and in many ways, it slayed Battlefield 1. But what do you know? It didn't sell well. And you wanna know why? Because of you. That is without doubt the biggest disappointment of 2016. Developer makes great game and general public doesn't buy it because they were too confused that multiple FPS titles came out at once. Forget the fact it's very well made. Forget the fact it just wants to have fun, like Cyndi Lauper. Forget the fact both its single player and multiplayer are great. Your mush brain can't handle too many shooters, so you just fell over onto the floor. Quick tip, never get a job as one of those circus performers that spins plates. You'd be terrible at it. And on top of that, why would I even want to see somebody twirling fine china when I could go and watch lions be tamed? That's just physics. The 6th Slay of Christmas. Oh man, I just remembered that in Gears of War 4, you can do this. Did you see that? His head just exploded like it was a balloon. I mean, that is fantastic. That is just wonderful. The 5th Slay of Christmas. Far Cry Primal lets you throw a spear into a man's head. I'm not sure what else I can say about that. Although, I would like to know the maths behind how sharp that spear needs to be. And also, how does a normal guy find the strength to throw a spear that goes through somebody's skull and goes through somebody's brain? That doesn't add up. That's like a Total War fan knowing how to lock in an armbar. Something is not right. But yes, Ubisoft proved this year they are borderline unstable when they released an offshoot version of Far Cry where you could also stab saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths. Because they're extinct, that's alright though. Which I guess means the series known as Half-Life is also fair game at this stage. It's gruesome, however, especially because you can also get a bow and sink an arrow through someone's heart. It's uncomfortable to talk about, right? And yet you're doing it all the damn time, aren't you? The 4th Slay of Christmas. What on earth is wrong with Mafia 3? The hell? Jeez, man. Who signed off on this? The 3rd Slay of Christmas. Dark Souls 3 killed a lot of things this year. In particular, my desire to play games. Let's just run down everything wrong with Dark Souls 3 quickly. 1, it's not fun being murdered over and over again by enemies that glitch around the place as if they're high on cocaine. 2, it's actually broken. 3, in case you didn't hear number 2, Dark Souls 3 is broken, as in it doesn't work. And 4, Dark Souls 3 fans defend it even though they know it's broken because of some weird sense of loyalty. And what the hell is that about? Did you give birth to Dark Souls 3? Did Dark Souls 3 come out of your place after you fornicated 12 months ago? And if you're out there nodding your head in agreement, you are one twisted individual. For starters, that obviously didn't happen because it's impossible. And secondly, if it did, you shouldn't be proud of that. That is an abomination. Why the hell is technology coming out of your wimwam? Lastly, that also means you're responsible for this mess, and that also means that I hate you. The second sleigh of Christmas. Doom is a masterpiece in death. In fact, it's so obsessed, it even throws away things you don't even need, like reloading, because as we all know, reloading is for babies. A real soldier, a real gamer, wants the action to continue even when it's threatening to stop. Deciding that this wasn't enough though, developer id went one step further and introduced glory kills. And do you know what this was? It was your chance to rip a body part off some hellspawn and then beat them to death with it. Now contrast that with something you do in, I don't know, XCOM 2. Ooh, I turn-based my way past an alien and then I blipped them with my laser gun. This isn't toy time, buffoon. This is video games, and Doom is a real video game. The first sleigh of Christmas. I played No Man's Sky this year, and I died of boredom. That is the worst death of 2016. It was the death of my interests and the death of my sense of what entertainment is meant to be. It's just numb now. Numb to sensory pleasures. An empty vessel floating through a vast abyss. Which, ironically enough, is what No Man's Sky is all about. It was f***ing rubbish. Merry Christmas. Now don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Miller Rapport episodes in the future, and then like, share, and leave a comment below.